that's red. She's got the spices, smile so bright. Cooking with Judith right by my side. By my side. Chop, chop, sizzle, frying pan heat. From pancakes to a fancy feast. Cooking with Judith, fun to say the least.
Hello and welcome to my kitchen. I'm Judith. And today I wanted to do a dish that I used to have at a wonderful Greek restaurant. My mom and I used to go there every now and then. And they had on the menu something called Gemista, which is usually stuffed vegetables. This restaurant always used the little tiny sweet peppers. So that is how I'm used to it. That is the way I like it. But you can use tomatoes, zucchini, whatever you've got handy. I just adore these little peppers. And they come out so sweet and delicious. So we've got the usual suspects: onions, garlic, strained tomatoes, olive oil, parsley, and of course our peppers, and some arborio rice. It's the kind of rice that you would use for paella or risotto. But if you don't have that, don't worry. You can use ordinary rice, whatever you've got. It's all good. We're going to add more herbs beyond just the parsley. A little bit of dill, some mint. It comes out so delicious. Well, let's get started. So heat a largish skillet on medium or medium-low. Add in about a tablespoon of olive oil. Then we're going to put in our onions. And that's just a little less than half a cup. And our garlic, about 2 teaspoons, so 3 cloves. The onion was about 1/4 of a large onion. And we're going to lower the heat down to low. And we're going to let that cook until the onions soften. And meanwhile, we're going to clean our peppers. All we need to do with the peppers is with a sharp knife, just cut the top off. You can't even see that. And take out the core. Oops. So just cut the top off and keep the top. Just get rid of any seeds that are there. And just remove the membrane and the seeds that are within. And keep your tops with their respective peppers. And it's nice to have a variety of colors. Or you could do this with mature bell peppers, like larger bell peppers, or tomatoes, which is very common, or as I said at the start, zucchinis. And I may actually end up with enough filling that I will stuff a zucchini. Because these little guys do not take a lot of filling, as you can imagine. Set those aside. They are kind of small, so Probably won't be using the littlest ones. Now that the onion and garlic is cooked, well, let me get some oil on here. Now that we have our onion and garlic cooked, see the garlic is starting to brown. We're going to add in about a half a teaspoon of mint and about a teaspoon and a half of dill, and these are dried. Unfortunately, I don't have fresh this time of year. And half to 3/4 of a cup of parsley. And then we're going to add our tomato. Now I have used about 3/4 of a cup of strained tomatoes, and then raised it to, added another half a cup of water just to thin it out a bit, because it was very thick. Stir that. And then we're going to leave that cook until most of the liquid has evaporated and we have a thick paste. No, you don't want it quite a paste. You just want it a really thick mixture. So if there's any free-flowing liquid, you want that to boil off or simmer off. We're not boiling it. We have it on a fairly low heat because we don't want to burn anything. And I think we're getting really close. I'll give it a little more time. Depending on your temperature, this could take 10 to 20 minutes, maybe as much as half an hour. And the seasoning smells so wonderful. So I'll just give it a few more minutes, and then we have to set it aside and let it cool. Okay, we are looking nice and thick. So we're going to turn that off, take it off the heat, and let it cool. So while we were waiting for our tomato sauce to thicken, we needed to find a dish that would securely hold all our lovely peppers. And there we go. And I also cleaned a zucchini. Just gave a little zucchini a little bit of a scrape out there. I've got the top half, well, third, quarter, whatever, a little slice off the top to put on top. And if we need more vegetable, I got us some tomatoes. And I know I said keep your tops for your peppers together with the pepper they belong to. Well, that never usually works out, but you can figure out where to put them later. They pretty much go on the one they belong to. So all we're waiting for now is for our tomato sauce to cool so we can mix it with the ground beef and rice. I have slightly less than a pound of ground beef, lean ground beef. It is 382 grams, so just under a pound. And our tomato onion mixture is now cooled, so we're gonna dump that in. And we're going to put in our rice. That's a 1/4 cup. Now, you could make this vegetarian or even vegan by leaving out the ground beef and increasing the rice. And once we have this all ready, we are going to start mixing. Using a wooden spoon. And I know a lot of recipes say use a wooden spoon and don't explain why. Don't ask me why. I don't know. But a lot of times it's just to prevent breaking the rice grains up or whatever grain that you have in there. And sometimes it's because getting that meat mashed really good is essential. And this is a lot more meat that I'm going to need for those few vegetables I have. So, and we do want to mix this until the meat is smooth and soft. So notice I'm using the back of the spoon a lot. I'm just like basically folding it on itself and then pushing it with the back of the spoon. And now we're going to add salt and pepper. Now, the amounts you add is up to you. I'm not horribly fond of pepper. It's good in its place, but... So I'm doing just under a half a teaspoon of pepper. For people who like pepper a lot, put in more. And then I'm going to put in only a teaspoon of salt. You could add more, but I'd go with less first and make sure you don't get it too salty. Because remember, that's something you can add but not remove. And if you want to taste, to make sure you have it seasoned properly, take a little bit of the mixture and fry it or microwave it and check for seasoning. I am going to trust I have done it right. And just mix that in. Again, and the more you mix and the more you bash that meat with the back of the spoon, the smoother and softer it becomes. Okay, I think it's pretty much ready. Okay, so time to stuff things. Okay, so using a small spoon, and I'm just using a half teaspoon measuring spoon, we are going to stuff our peppers. Spoon a little bit in and push it down. And don't be afraid to let it mound up top. Just, I want to make sure that it's actually getting all the way down there, so I want something longer. So I'm just going to use the handle of a dinner knife to push it down, because sometimes it won't go all the way down into the bottom. But if you use a small enough spoon, you can get it down there. Of course, that assumes that the spoon is small enough to get in there. Some of these peppers are pretty small, but I did not use the smallest ones specifically for this reason. They are really hard to stuff. Although they're quite sweet to use as an appetizer. And let's see if we can get that down further. Just depending on the size of the pepper, depends on the size of the utensil you need to use. And let's see. That is, yep, going in there. Since I had about twice as much filling as I had peppers, we have done a large green pepper, half a large green pepper, our zucchini, and 2 tomatoes. And there's still a little bit left over, but I'm not going to worry about that. If your vegetables have trouble standing up, stick a little bit of the meat under them just so they stand. But with our peppers, what we want to do now is pour some boiling water in the bottom of the dish. We need to be careful about this. And we only want it to come up to about an inch, which is hard to tell. Let's get a little more. There we go. The half the green pepper probably should have some boiling water in it too. But at this point, that's just collateral damage. It'll cook as it cooks, because this is the dish we want. So now it goes in the oven at 375 for an hour and a quarter to an hour and a half. But being as these are small peppers, they might take less, although they are snugged in there pretty close. It only took an hour to cook our lovely little peppers. And the tomatoes, of course, all fell over. We have lovely stuffed pepper and zucchini and a couple of tomatoes. Absolutely delicious Greek potatoes. And I do have a recipe for those in another video, which I will link. Okay, let's serve. Now everything's hot, so I have an oven mitt. Let me get some of the wonderful peppers. Those are just so yummy looking and adorable. And I did make a Greek salad. Now often the gemistas are served with a side of feta cheese, which is nice. I like feta cheese, but I'd much rather have it in a salad. So there we go. And let's give it a try. Let's start with this bit, which is the top of that tomato, or that pepper. Oh, that's nice. Stuffed, but not really solid. Let's try the bottom of this one. Yep. See, pushing it down the way I did help, but it's still not quite full. So it really takes some care and some time to get everything stuffed. But the effort is well worth it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you liked the video. I hope you liked the recipe. Please give it a like, subscribe if you haven't already, share with your friends, family, and I'll see you again soon with a new recipe. Thank you so much for watching.